Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, February 27th. NVIDIA released their highly anticipated earnings report last night for Q4, and it came out better than estimated. And their revenue was up 78% year over year. This is good news. However, the rate of growth is starting to decelerate. So that's something to keep in mind. However, data center revenue was still explosive, and NVIDIA received $11 billion of Blackwell revenue, their most advanced AI GPU chip already. This goes to show you that the demand for these hardware AI GPU chips is still very strong. The AI infrastructure trade is still alive and intact. This is good news because there was a lot of fear that with DeepSeek, that there'd be less demand for these AI chips. However, Jensen Huang said on the call that there's about 100 times more demand for compute due to reasoning, asking these chat bots more questions than when ChatGPT was released in late 2022. That's 100 times more compute. So it shows that as more competition enters the space, the demand for compute and the demand for NVIDIA's AI GPU chips, and right now Blackwell chips, is alive and well and very strong. This is good news, obviously, for NVIDIA and the AI and tech trade in general. Look, at a certain point, growth will decelerate further, but for right now, this shows that the decade-long paradigm for this AI bull market, or this infrastructure build-out for AI with data centers, is coming on as planned. So that's some really good news. Look, this was a quarter that was great, maybe not excellent, especially in the near term. Some near-term challenges, but in the long run, for the end of this year, I think NVIDIA will have even better quarters. Obviously, we have to see. And then I want to talk a little bit about the pending Ukraine U.S. minerals deal. On the surface, this looks like it could be a win-win situation where the U.S. invests money into Ukraine in order to extract these minerals, and then they could pretty much share, I think it's 50-50, the proceeds from these minerals. Look, these are rare earth minerals that we need in our electronics, like titanium, graphite, and lithium. So we need this for cars, for chips. So this could be a win-win for rebuilding Ukraine. The downside, however, for Ukraine is that it doesn't provide security assistance from the U.S. No guaranteed security assistance in case there's another form of Russian aggression. So that's a major downside. But the good news is to share the economic benefits of these rare earth minerals, and the U.S. helping investing money to extract those minerals could be a win-win for both countries, and perhaps ending the war. And then I also wanted to talk a little bit about Trump's proposed $500 billion gold card program. In my opinion, this sounds good on the surface. Obviously, it could potentially raise money, for companies paying for really high-skilled immigrants that have, as I said, very high skills, or for entrepreneurs coming to America, too, in order to maybe build up jobs and whatnot. However, my ultimate opinion, I think this will create more income inequality and wealth inequality. If these immigrants could cut the line, essentially, with this gold card, it's not necessarily fair for immigrants waiting online with the current green card system. So that's my take. And obviously, it could drive up prices in areas like New York, California. It could create more inflation for those areas, pricing out people that are already there, or people that are looking to move to those areas. So that's a main concern. Obviously, it could raise a lot of revenue and bring a very high-skilled talent to the U.S. So that's some good news, at least, where it could potentially build some kind of a hole in our very large deficit and even bigger debt. So that's the biggest benefit, and is in terms of bringing those high-skilled workers in and helping our economy and lowering our debt. But I'm worried about the income inequality that would bring. And then we also had Q4 GDP come in today as expected at 2.3%. So that's good news. You don't want to see too low. You don't want to see too high. So the fact that it's coming in as expected, I think, is great. And let's take that in stride as good news. And then lastly, I want to talk quickly about Bitcoin. Bitcoin fell further, hitting about 83,000. It was 108,000 at its recent peak. And now it's down to 83,000. There was initial optimism with President Trump winning the election and the pro-crypto policies that would come. However, people are asking me, why is Bitcoin falling? Well, Bitcoin trades very well in line with global liquidity and empty money supply. And we had a recent decline in global liquidity and empty money supply. However, it looks like right now there's going to be a leg back up. So because we saw that decline in global liquidity and money in the economy, that's why Bitcoin then went down. But the fact that we're seeing it going back on the way up, first of all, that's a leading indicator for what Bitcoin will do. And that means I think Bitcoin will likely go up in price soon. Obviously, we have to see. But at the end of the day, keep in mind, that's what Bitcoin trades as a risk-on asset. And it's almost directly correlated with global liquidity and empty money supply. So we have to look at those charts, and looking at those charts showing that line going up makes me pretty bullish and optimistic for Bitcoin's price in the coming days and weeks. Obviously, we have to see.